Hey everybody, I am back with our first real creative pep talk, not a wisdom talk for you, in a while. And today I want to talk to you about the idea that not everyone is your audience. So this is kind of an interesting topic because anytime we create something, because we're human, we create for ourselves, but we also want to know what other people think of it. And that's where we tend to land in trouble. That's where comparison comes in and we start rejecting ourselves because we think that we're not good enough. And one of the easiest ways to land there is to think that everyone who offers feedback on what you've created is your audience. Now, if we stop and think about this, we know that that's not true, right? Opera is still a popular entertainment form, not as popular as it once was, but it's still out there. There are still opera performances to go to, but that does not mean that everybody enjoys opera. It's just one easy example. I have a friend who doesn't like to read anything that she cannot imagine happening in the real world, which means she doesn't like fantasy, she doesn't like science fiction. To me, that feels really limiting, but to her, that stuff feels absurd. So I'm not going to ask her for her feedback on my fantasy novel because it's not her cup of tea. She's not going to get it. She's not going to appreciate it like someone who actually enjoys that kind of work. If you are in a jazz band and your parents are only into classical music, don't listen to what your parents tell you about your jazz band if it's negative. If it's positive, they might actually be learning to appreciate it, but don't take those comments as the absolute stark truth when there really isn't any such thing. Now, the place where this gets tricky is that, there is legitimate constructive criticism, and you want to be able to listen to that because you want to be able to make your work better. So you do need to learn a level of discernment in order to apply the everyone is not your audience rule. But really, in many ways, it's kind of easy to tell when someone just dismisses you out of hand that that's not feedback that's worth listening to. There are legends and horror stories of writing professors, art professors. Lord knows, I haven't seen Whiplash because I know it would traumatize me, but anybody who just is ruthlessly mean about your work is somebody you shouldn't listen to. It is really, really hard to convince yourself in those moments not to listen to them. And I totally understand that because that's human nature. Human nature is to listen to the voice that says, you suck. Why did you ever pick up a pen, paintbrush, drumstick, whatever? Because you're just not worthy of this and you're terrible and you should go crawl into a cave and, just languish there for the rest of your life. But that's not a practical way to live. And the fact is, every single one of us is here to create something. Whether our talent is writing jokes or writing plays or writing music or building things, or the talent that we bring forth in the kitchen and create amazing things out of nothing. I knew a woman like that once. It was phenomenal. She never used a recipe. Could I do that? No, but to watch it, amazing. Every single one of us has something like that. Whether we've been led to believe that we do or not, it's still there either way. And it's up to us as the custodian of that talent. And, it may be helpful to think of it that way, to think of it as this thing that is a little bit outside of ourselves, and it's our job to take care of it. As the custodian of that talent, we need to listen to the voices that nurture us and want to genuinely help us improve, not the voices that want to cut us down, not the voices that don't even understand what we're talking about. So you need to find that discernment. You need to build up, for your sanity in general, as much as in your creative process, your ability to distinguish those kinds of feedback and listen to the feedback that's helpful and ignore the rest. But fundamentally, the thing that I want you to remember is not everyone is your audience. That's the key. Everything else when you're dealing with feedback comes from there. So take this advice, put it into practice as best you know how. It may help to do it in tiny little steps. It may just be a reminder every day, once or twice a day, not everyone is my audience until it starts to really build up its own little path of synapses in your head. But not everyone is your audience. Not everyone is equally qualified to comment on your work. And you need to listen to the people who are your audience and want to help make you better, not cut you down. All right, that's it for this week. I'll see you next time.